All right, I'm at 49 health. 49 health. If I die here, I'm probably just going to arena. Mm-hmm. This is really fun. Having a good time. I'm glad I never started. Because I died. 49 health. Cool. So fun. Yeah, 49 health. 2 starships. Yeah, I should die. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's my fault.
Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. It's time for our day one patch review, and I will say, this patch absolutely broke me. Whether it was the intro there with Sonya destroying me from 1,000,000 health on just turn 7, and you all know I wanted Sonya to get hit this patch. It didn't, but just overall, I had a really rough day on ladder. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try and have it not skew my perspective on this review, because yes, a ton of cards got nerfed, a ton got buffed, but a lot of cards got nerfed a lot harder than any cards got buffed. And I will say, early day one impressions, there's a lot of exploration out there. Starships look like they're kind of taking off. Librams might be viable. There's stuff to talk about. There's stuff to look at. So we're gonna do all of that in this video. And if you enjoy the content on the channel, feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, it helps out a lot as we're on the road to 90,000 subscribers. And with any balance patch, always important to note, especially this one, there's so many cards nerfed, you wanna open up your collection. Go in there, type in the search bar, refund, and then this one in particular, have wild open, because there's like Order in the Court and Master's Call, but disenchant every card you can. There's no point in saving it. You can always recraft it later. I keep on to the goldens because like I have a billion dust. I have all the cards, so I keep them. But overall, it is recommended to disenchant everything, unless it's a signature and you want to like keep a signature. Those are pretty rare and you can't craft those. So yeah, make sure you do that. So yeah, I tweeted this sarcastic thing out. Still confused by this nerf. 0 mana to 0 mana. I did play some Deathlight today because of course I did. And yeah, it felt like it didn't matter. It was always 0, or you know, it might slow it down a turn. But there were a ton of very impactful nerfs. If we look at the front page of HS Replay, it's probably too soon to even like care about this. In standard, we got Mage, Shaman, Deathlight. I will say Elemental Mage looks like it's still legit with like Lamplighter not doing what it did, because you still have the fire stuff. It's still a good deck, but it's definitely not going to be as good. But yeah, you look at this, it's not a big thing. But I will say, before we jump into the standard stuff, I want to give out a shout out to the WoW community, because I feel like nobody talks about it these days. Warlock, #1 across all ranks. Demon Seed has really taken over the format, especially with Holy Wrath getting hit, and now like Spell Damage Druid's getting, well, it got deleted. Spell Damage Druid got outright deleted this patch. The Demon Seed is just ridiculous, right? And it started with mass production. I tried my best to, you know, maybe get them to do something about the Demon Seed then. Didn't happen, and now we got Hearthstone, and we have all those decks that kind of countered the Warlock deck. It's really hard. And the other decks you'll see here, Demon Hunter, Priest, it's all pure aggro, trying to rush it down. I would be very surprised, or at least I'm hoping the next balance patch that was hinted in that patch note, something will get done about the Demon Seed. But again, it's just been one of those things that's just been sitting there, and I don't know, it really ruins the format for me. But with regards to standard metagame, did things change up much? Well, with my experience, this is why this patch broke me, by the way. You can see I tried some Starship Rogue, lost like every game. I'm like, okay. I started off, by the way, like rank 500. I'll try Librams. Lost like every game. I'll try some Deathlight. Actually 1, 2, 3, but I'm like, it's the same thing. Let's try Asteroid Shaman. Lost like every game, and then couldn't even win with Deathlight, to the point where I was almost like rank 2000. It was a really rough day for me. So I couldn't really win with stuff I just figured, but it wasn't like I was losing to the same thing over and over. If you actually look at what I faced, early on, there was quite a bit of Rogue. There was this patch here, it was just like all Sonya Rogues, and I just lost my absolute mind. I was so mad. But after that, it kind of cooled off. I faced 3 Dungar Druids in a row. That looks like it's one of the best decks so far. Unfortunately, giant scam deck is, yeah, they ramp into Dungar, you die. What can you do? You lose. Like, it's really difficult. But I saw a lot of variety. And taking a look at HS Guru, probably the best place with stats in Standard early on, Diamond through Legend. We'll note, Priest has 2 decks near the top. People crapping about Priest, but it's just like Zarimi, Pain. It's just flood the board. Priest. Nostalgia Shaman looking really good still. A lot of the decks we saw before the patch, right? Pirate Demon Hunter, Dungar Druids kind of taking the spot as like the big scam deck other than Big Spell Mage. Hamba Paladin. You're going to see early on with any major patch, like an expansion or a major balance patch, the aggro stuff, the stuff that's already tested and thriving will pop up. But I will note, we do see Asteroid Shaman with the positive win rate. We see Starship Hunter with the positive win rate. Egg Hunter still hanging in there so far. Wheel Warlock and Libram Paladin, at least early on. I'm going to try and get a gameplay video. I tried getting footage on my stream. That was a disaster, but as the days already gone along and people are refining it, Libram Paladin looks like it might just crack the level of playability. So that's going on there. And I will say the Among Us, like this card that got buffed, that archetype, I don't know. This is the only archetype I can beat. Even with my luck today, I was losing to everything. I was still be able to beat that deck. That mechanic seems absolutely hopeless. But yeah, you'll know, like, no Reno decks. Reno 100% dead. If you were wondering about should I hold on to that card, no. It's just a dead card. And if we go to like Legend, where the sky or the skill level goes up or whatever, looks pretty similar, honestly. The Shafar Rogue is up there, which that's a deck, if it's actually good, will 100% get nerfed. It's the whole thing. You basically got Shafar, right? And then what you do is you just keep adding it to the Buccaneers that copy, and then you just keep multiplying that spell burst because each one gets it. And then deckhand is like 20, 30 attack by turn 6 and 7 if you draw right, and really, really toxic. But yeah, you can see there is a good breadth of decks so far early on. There is Starship stuff in the mix. Even at Legend, Libram, it's kind of there. So there is stuff, and it's super early on. We will have deck recommendations tomorrow. I'm going to wait for like at least over 24 hours of data. I think it's kind of irresponsible to recommend decks less than a day. I think we got to wait at least a day or so, but things are changing. And that's what I think is important. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I didn't have like almost any fun on ladder today. A lot of that was just this of just losing a lot, but there were so many non-games, right, against the scam decks, the Dungar decks, the aggro decks that just get a billion stats. That was still kind of frustrating, and the AoE options are less, right? Threads is a lot worse now. Reno, not really something you ever want to play. It does feel harder to be defensive early on, but will say it's going to take some time to figure this meta out, and this is the first major patch that they did, right? They have committed. They had that blurb. They are committing to like lowering the power level. This is like the first patch to do that. They're going to keep working on it. And I feel like there's a lot that they still need to hit. But at least they're starting, and it's going to be like, can they stick to this? Can they commit to this? Because I do think it's important. I think the power level of the game really needs to go down. This set feels like it'd be a perfect like first set for a standard rotation rather than a third, right? A lot of the more powerful stuff leaves and we start with a bit more of a reasonable set like we have with the Great Dark Beyond. And it's just trying to combat with this just broken crap, right? It's still like so much of this is broken crap, and it just feels like you don't have a lot to say. And I will say in the 5+ hours I played today, besides the fact I was getting really unlucky, I still feel like there's a ways to go, but the patch felt better. So far, there was a lot of different decks. Starship decks might be working, especially Hunter looks really solid. It's just another OTK deck, by the way. You just kind of blow up, but at least it's something. And yeah, we'll see how it goes on. I would love to hear from you guys how you felt about this patch, how you're feeling about the game going forward, and like what changes do you think need to happen still. I'm still thinking it's more of like we need more nerfs, more stuff like that rather than buffs, but like the Among Us deck, I even tweeted, like, I don't know if it's here. I have literally no idea how to make this mechanic work. Like, they have these buffs. How do you make this work other than make it 0 mana? There's some stuff that I don't know if it's even salvageable, but let alone whether it be buffs or nerfs or anything. It's pretty rough, but overall, I like to hear what you guys have to say. I will try and get a gameplay video out later today. I gotta record off stream and try and get some wins. Like, I gotta get some for you guys. Can't just be losses. So we'll try and do that. And then, yes, tomorrow we will have our not day one. We just had our day one patch review. We'll have our best decks recommendations for standard and wild. Wild's probably Demon Seed and aggro, but standard, we'll see. Could be a lot changing the next day or so. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.